Hi, this is Anna Olsen with Insights into Consciousness on A1R Radio. Today, I'm going to go over the universal consciousness and how that affects us and what that means for the rest of our lifespans and then the lifespan that we have that continues after this lifespan. So it's been some pretty interesting studies that I've gone over with the lifespan spiritually of a human being, and then after that lifespan here on Earth in the physical body is over, what happens directly afterwards. So first of all, I wanted to go over how things work in this basic, in this planet that we're on now on Earth. Basically, what happens while we're here is we are connected energetically to all other human beings. It is a very scientific model that we're all basically on. It's a plane, and it has to do with quantum physics and all that stuff, and you could get super, super scientific and all of that, and it would just waste a lot of everybody's time. But to make things really, really simple, we're made of energy and intelligence, and our energy can connect to other people's energy, and that connects to everything, including plants, the planets, the waves, water, elements, everything around us, it's all connected, including stars, including space matter. All of it is connected to us in the same way that everything in the universe should be connected. So it has to do with energy. It has to do with basically intelligence, which is what most of, actually everything in this universe is made out of. So with that out of the way, basically what I've been researching lately and that I'd really like to share is that when we are around others, plants, animals, nature, the whole gamut, our interaction with other people and with any living thing, it creates a sort of record and a thumbprint. You can think of it like a fingerprint or a thumbprint. That interaction is extremely special. It's full of information. It's basically an orchestra. It's a connection between our consciousness and the consciousness of the living thing, human, animal, plant, what have you. When that happens, it is recorded, and what a lot of people call is the Book of Life. Some people call it Akashic Records. There's all sorts of little names for this. However, the basis of it is that it's recorded as energy, and we as human beings, we have the power to make it whatever we want. And after that, we can either change it, erase it, or just replace it. So I'm thinking about the afterlife when I talk about this, because when we pass on after this life, when we pass on to the next life, we're going to be in basically a holding spot, a holding place where we get to still do a lot of the things we're doing now and learn a whole lot, except we can be in new places very, very quickly. So it's time travel, perception is all very, very different. But the concepts are the same of emotion and of learning and retaining information or intelligence or knowledge that we gain there. So the most important thing that we bring with us to the next life is our interactions with others. And this is where I really want to focus on being considerate of others' feelings, and of ourselves. So the only thing that really matters in this lifetime is those connections with others, those thumbprint interactions, and how we choose to treat others, and how we choose to leave an impression on that person, like our thumbprint. So when we're going to the next life, we're going to have this inner aura. We're going to have it all recorded where other people can see it very, very clearly. Other people will be able to see, and some people can see in this life, anybody who tells you that they can see auras, they can see this impression on how we treat others and ourselves, animals, nature. It's all connected, and it leaves a mark of energy on us and others. So if we've been harmed, it can affect that aura and that oral energy. And it can also affect our afterlife and where we are drawn to in the afterlife. We will be drawn to the places and the people that are like us. Just like in this life, we tend to be drawn to the places and the people that are like us. Somebody who feels comfortable in a bar may not feel comfortable in the same place as somebody who doesn't drink. So it's the same concept. Some people say, like, if your clothes are dirty and you've been working out in the yard all day, you're not going to feel as comfortable going to an event where they're wearing tuxedos and it's a black tie event. So that's just basically a comparison. And the basis of the entire concept is that the way we treat each other is key, and how we help each other get to where we're going is key. So there's really not much else that matters in this lifetime. And I really wanted to put that out there. It was heavy on me today that considering others and their needs is more important. And that sometimes that can be really difficult because some people are really hard to love. But I'd really love to throw the concept out there right now that the people who are the hardest to love teach us the most. Because if you love somebody and it's extremely easy, you're really not doing any work. And if you love somebody and it's extremely easy, then they're not really teaching you anything. And it's not really true love, because extremely easy, people who are extremely easy to love are probably either short-term or fling, or you're in the first stage of a relationship, and that's just very shallow. So, I know that children are very, very easy to love. I know that a lot of animals are very, very easy to love. But at the same time, when you're living with them and taking care of them, there's also that difficulty in that relationship. And that's where we learn the most and grow the most. So that's what I wanted to really put the focus on tonight, is that love is hard work. True love is hard work. It's not an easy, breezy, whimsical thing where it's no work and we're just gleeful and happy with that person all the time. It's unrealistic. It's kind of stupid. And it's I really want to just touch on the fact that true love is hard to do. Those people that are harder to love, they're the real project, and they're what's key in this lifetime. And what we do with them is what we will be held accountable in this life for and in the next. So that's something I've learned from Spirit. That's something I've learned from studying. That's something I've read on stories of people who have had near-death experiences. It's what I've experienced and learned from my own near-death experiences. And that's the basis of what I want to put out there today. So I have a caller today. I wanted to do a reading. It's Divana from England.
Hello.
Davina. Hello.
Hello there. It's Davina.
Hi, Davina. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm just fine. It's nice to hear from you.
Oh, thank you.
So how can I help you tonight?
If you could give me some guidance on if there's anything coming up for me romantically.
Romantically? Basically, I'm seeing somebody who is there a man in your life now that you're either considering, or who's already been there a while, or that you've met that you're considering?
Yes. It's somebody from my past. Yeah, and I'm considering, because I'm very focused on my career right now, but I do feel a strong connection towards him.
Right. I keep seeing him in more of like a nice, he's dressed really nice, and I keep seeing roses for some reason.
Okay.
Is he, I feel like he's more of, is he more of like a gentleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, gentleman, very, does he do things very properly in a relationship? Or have a very soft energy about it?
I'm not sure, yeah. Yes, very soft. Yeah, definitely.
Soft energy, right. Mm-hmm. So basically, that's why I'm seeing as who is drawn to you at this particular time in your life for karmic reasons and for best life lesson reasons right now for your life cycle and your lifespan. This person I see will be able to balance things out from your past because I feel like it's going to be a little different this time. I feel like he's going to be softer about things. Why did it not work out in the past with him? It was just career, or?
I didn't ever, I was very shy when I knew him just 12 years ago, and then we just lost contact.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but
you just
whenever he wanted to meet up 12 years ago, I was very shy. But I'm a different person now.
Right. Well, just as a FYI for your information, he has more of a soft energy now, and you may be more in a place to sort of guide him out of his, I don't know if it's shyness or if it's just a very, I mean, I feel like he's social. It's more like it's more of like a withdrawn energy socially.
I think that's me. I think that's more my vibe. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like his energy's very, very soft. Maybe he's softened from the last time that you've been with him. So I feel like it's a good connection. I feel like it's exactly what you need to work on right now. And he'd be able to teach you a lot of lessons just from having an exchange, even intellectually with him. I feel like he's very learned, like he's been to the university. Right. And I feel like you're both very intellectually, you're smart, you're intelligent. You guys have a lot that you could talk about. And that he teach you a lot.
Yeah.
Is that who you were hoping to hear about today?
I was.
Is this good news?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think he's drawn to me like I'm drawn to him?
Do I think he's what?
Do you think he's drawn to me like I'm drawn to him?
Yeah. Yeah, I think right now he's basically not sure if you're totally serious about being with him again.
Yeah.
I want to say that when you guys lost touch, he may have taken something kind of personally with that lack of communication, and it wasn't like you did it intentionally, but he took it pretty hard. Yeah. So he's just not sure how drawn you are to him or how serious you would be about seeing him again. So that would maybe, it's very hard for men when they're not sure to make the first move and to come to ask you. It's very, very difficult for them, and they play it off very well usually, but he's very, very nervous about that. So it would be good for you to open up that door for him and to make sure that, he feels really safe in doing that. Like maybe go somewhere casually with him first, or if there's an event or, just something kind of like not so stressful, and just ease him into that process a little bit. Cause I feel like he's very nervous about that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays it off well, doesn't he?
Yeah. The thing is, I'm kind of feel that he is the person that I will eventually marry. That's why I'm taking things very slow with him.
Yeah. I don't think he could go really quickly in a relationship.
Pardon?
With him, I don't know if he would be able to go very quickly in a relationship. I feel like he goes very slowly anyway. Like that's his process. So I feel like that's really
me as well.
Yeah. So you guys are a good match right now.
Thank you. He's a Taurus, I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, well, that's a great match.
Yeah.
You're the Capricorn?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Capricorns. I'm a Virgo.
Thank you. Oh my God, all three of us are earth signs.
What was that?
I said we are all earth signs.
Yes, we are. All good, right?
Amazing. Wow.
Well, does that answer your question? Is there anything else I can help you with tonight? Or any other questions I can answer?
That's fine, thank you. I think I have something to look forward to then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you're welcome. And I think like the base of the relationship, in addition, would be to have some really fun things pre-planned. I know that he plays it off very well, but he has some pressure about what to do for fun and how well you'll accept him and things like that. So you could probably take that pressure off a little bit by inviting him places and finding some really fun things to do with him.
Okay, I'll try and think of something.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. God bless.
Same to you. So there's an example of how sometimes people can go into each other's lives and then they, think that they'll never see the person again. And here we go again, where the energy between two people will pull them back together again and they'll connect. So life is interesting that way. When I'm talking about energies and people having an exchange, the thumbprint, it's very unique. And what we do sometimes is we come back to that same person. And if the caller's still listening too, I'd like them to know that I feel like this is their twin flame. So twin flames are very, very complex. They're a lot like us. So it's two people who are a lot the same. Like she was saying, they're both an earth sign. People who are very, very the same. And that can be a struggle. And it can also be amazing to be with somebody who mirrors us at such an amazing level, but yet teaches us so much in such a short amount of time, because it can also be a struggle. So here we have two people who came together. It didn't work out. There was shyness, and then there was an issue with basically communication, from what I gathered, and things just kind of dropping off for whatever reason, career and things like that. And the really amazing, wonderful thing is that life really does open up doors again for that energy to come through. It's all exact science, mathematical. There's algorithms in this energy, in the universe and the universal consciousness, where we bring those people back into our lives that we really need to learn from. So here we go with when we treat somebody a certain way, when we have interactions with somebody in a certain way, we will hopefully learn everything that we need to with them, from them. And then later on, what can happen is they come right back around if we didn't really learn what we were supposed to learn. And that's the wonderful thing about this whole thing, about forgiveness, about second chances, is that the doors are just open straight up for us to have an amazing connection with somebody when it didn't work out. And that can be with a parent, it can be with a spouse, it can be with children or aunts, uncles. It's a really wonderful process that can be retried and redone. And this is what I love about these second chances, about twin flames, about relationships. I believe in the pre-existence, where we had relationships with these people. We had conversations with these people before we came to the earth to live here. And we drew up contracts. We made covenants. We made agreements. We still do now when we meet friends. Even we have those interactions with people, and every single thing that we do and say makes a difference. And how we treat people, every single time we treat somebody well, it makes a difference. Every time we give somebody the benefit of the doubt or forgive them, it's this love consciousness that I really want to focus on. It's this unselfish and giving, considerate, loving energy that I really, really want to focus on, and just like remind people that that's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. If that's the focus, then we'll be happy. And it doesn't matter what somebody does that we feel that they did to us. Usually it's a reflection of their energy, their karmic energy, their aura, their upbringing. And it's up to us to learn from it. And it's up to us to use that, utilize it in a way that it teaches us. So really that's what I wanted to focus on today, because it is so, so hugely important. If you think about what we can bring with us when we die, it's the connections with other human beings, animals, and even plants. Okay, so if people don't have as much of a connection with the plants, then think of it this way. We don't have our environment for people and animals to live without plants. So it is an ongoing cycle of life. Love is the answer to just about any question. And sometimes that means loving ourselves to get away from something that can be harmful. So this is the other aspect of it, is that we also get to treat ourselves well. We also get to treat ourselves with respect and to make sure that we protect ourselves and not to skip ourselves. Some people believe in Christianity, especially, it's God first, others second, and then ourselves. Well, even if you believe that, you can't skip yourself. And that's part of self-love. That's part of treating all of God's children with respect and love and kindness. And that includes ourselves. So we are a person that we also get to treat with love and respect, but not more than others. So this is basically the concept between the, I guess you could call it an algorithm of the universe. We get information from the divine if we need help with this. This is the one thing that the angels, the guides, and God works the most on, is helping us to treat others with love and respect. So I'm Anna Olsen. This is Insights into Consciousness. Please catch me next week at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time here on A1R. You can see my bio on askoneradio.com. That's the number 1 in there, askoneradio.com. Thank you.